you wasn't
Was I not supposed to get in so fast?
No, you wasn't supposed to be in so fast.
You know, they said they kept it down. They said 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, so I came in. Damn, Charlie, what? Charlie, hey, Jeff.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, Jeff.
DJ
Can
Jeff.
you see Charlie? Jeff, can you see Charlie? Can you see Charlie, Jeff? Is he,
Oh, man.
Because y'all look like y'all together, but it's an IG Live. Y'all together?
Yep. Right.
What's up, everybody?
What's happening? What's happening?
No, so, Charlie, I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you.
Me too.
Man,
yeah,
listen,
like
man.
this is you've come a long
way.
way.
Hold on. Let me get my thing off first. Can I do
mine? I'm saying you're not just going strong on me just because it's your show. Just because it's your show, you think you can just do whatever you want?
Oh my goodness, man!
I'm saying, okay, go talk then.
Why don't you give it a do?
You want me to talk? You go talk.
Hey, well, I think we should let Charlie dibba-deuce us.
Yeah, Charlie, dibba-deuces to the crowd, Charlie. Dibba-deuces to the crowd. Dibba-deuces to the crowd. Go ahead. I'm waiting. I'm on your show.
Well, you gave me 90 minutes, man. Stop, man. For 90 minutes, man.
All right.
You gave me 90 minutes, dude.
One time, Charlie said.
My goodness.
Charlie said that I don't. He said, Will, you don't sound like me at all. You don't sound like me at all.
You don't sound nothing like me.
When you do my voice, you don't sound nothing like me. You don't sound nothing like me. And we called his mom. And she didn't know it wasn't. Mom. Hey, Mom. Yo, Mom. Mom, pick up. Mom, pick up. I'm here, Charlie.
Come on, man. Can I have my moment, man?
Go ahead then.
Can I have my moment?
I'm waiting and you're not talking. Whenever I leave a space, you don't talk. All right, go ahead, Charlie. I was about to be honest. I was gonna say I was proud of you and you doing the show. And
right. Let me say mine first now.
Okay. Sorry.
It was my show.
Charlie, man.
It was my So, as I was stating, 33 years ago, Jeffrey Allentown comes to Southwest Philadelphia to 57 for Welland Avenue. Woo. And I'm doing an event, and Jeff came down. I'm going to give my brother Wood a shout out, because Wood actually brought him to me. Down at Southwest Castle, I was doing the first annual Charlie Mack Hustlers Convention. And he says, Jeff wants to meet with you. Jeff want to meet with me about what? I'm like, well, let me go see what he wants. And of course, I knew Jeff from Barton. We went to school together. But of course, he was Jazzy Jeff at the point, So I knew he had a record, and we talked about a few things. But in particular, he said, I have an opportunity. We just released our record, Girls Are Rolling Up in Trouble, and we're going on tour. And I think this would be a great opportunity.
Would you be our security? Because you big. And you was like, oh, that's right, I am big. I will be your security.
So with that being said, I had 2 open cases at the time. And I told Jeff I need to talk to my lawyer because I had 2 open cases. I didn't know where, the status of the cases, where they were.
Suitcases?
No, cases. Cases. Street pharmaceutical cases.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna do that.
No, I thought one was a weapons charge, Charlie.
No, there were 2 gun cases. No, 2 drug cases. Actually.
Drug cases. Okay.
2
so you got off on the gun charge. I'm trying to get the legal stuff right, so I don't say nothing out. So I don't say nothing out of the way.
The gun charge happened in '85.
on, and it was just the drug
gun
charges
was over in 86.
that we had to get a lawyer to clean up for you.
The gun charge was over in 86.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, do you have that?
Yes, I'm just. Well, you know what? I'm gonna write some of this stuff down. We'll write some of it down. The gun charge was expunged in 85.
Okay. The judge said to me, you probably should get on the basketball court and leave guns alone because you don't
Yes.
love with that. Okay.
That was. I agree with the judge.
Oh goodness, man. So with that being said, by the time Jeff comes, he offers me an opportunity, and it really, to be honest, the reason why I was hustling and doing all these things was to have a better life and go see the world. It happened all in one.
And girls, so you liked girls a lot, so you had Gucci, and you had new sweatsuits and shoes and stuff all the time.
Don't forget the matching.
Matching. It was always matching.
Don't forget the matching.
Yes.
White. Don't forget that, okay? Don't forget that. So with that being said, I talked to my lawyer, Steven Sirota, God rest his soul. I talked to him. He said, Charlie, you're going to be fine. You know, and then, of course, I called Jeff up, and Jeff had JL take me down to get my passport. Mm-hmm. The very first time I leave Philadelphia, other than going to Atlantic City, was going to London, Swiss Cottage.
You jumped over another story, though.
I'm trying to get past
Jeff.
You gave me 90
keep
minutes.
The chronology of the stories, right?
Okay, so let me give a disclaimer, a teenage disclaimer.
Yes.
So our word that we actually live by was put on the table. We're going to have a couple put on the table moments tonight. Now
that was really important for us, you know, in the beginning of our friendship, you know, and that was one of the things that I really rock with you on, is authenticity. You know, we really worked hard as friends and as a crew to stay honest, and you know, we would put it on the table. We would call put it on the table meetings. And
also, Jeff never succumbed to him, but he was absolutely subject of him a few times.
Yes, yeah, Jeff. You know, Jeff. I love Jeff. Jeff, the truth wasn't as important to him as it was to the rest of us.
Let's just say everybody else's truth was important.
Ooh.
That's true.
That was deep.
And the minute formally in your hip hop career.
Yeah, my father had an ice business, and before I started in hip hop, I would when you go into supermarkets and you see the bags of ice. Mm-hmm. My father owned a company that made the manufactured the ice, and then we would bag it, and then we would deliver it to the store. And I don't know if we ever met when I was doing that. I saw you.
We would always miss each other.
Yeah. Yeah, we never.
I think I only seen you once coming to ice cream parlor. Of course,
delivering ice.
Yeah, so I only seen you once come in there, and we didn't have any direct dialogue at that point.
Right.
But me and Jeff had already known each other because we went to Bartram together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So from there, Jeff said, "Come over to my house. We're rehearsing," because I believe it was a few shows that we had prior to us going overseas. There's like maybe 2 or 3 shows because you had to get to London to work on the album.
Yeah, Jive, our record company Zamba was based in England. So that was probably 5 or 6 months after we met. We went pretty quick.
Yeah, because we did probably did about 4 shows, maybe 4 shows. Because if you remember, Jeff and Will, we actually took a drive in the boat. You want to tell everybody about the boat?
What was the boat? I don't remember the boat.
The car.
The Suburban.
No, I think it was Reddy's car. I think it was.
Oh yeah, Clay's car. Yeah, when we had to drive to New York. Yeah.
Yeah, we drove to New York exactly. And then
that was a '98, wasn't it?
'98. It was a
'98. An Oldsmobile '98. Right?
Absolutely. So all 5 of us were packed up, or 6 of us was packed up in the boat.
Yeah. And we went to New York, and that's when we.
I remember y'all coming back from New York after y'all did y'all deal.
Yeah, we were going up there
girls was on fire at that point. And y'all came back and y'all did a show in Philly.
Yeah. Oh, and you introduced us.
So,
okay.
With that being said, again, so from there we did about 2 or 3 shows. I got my passport. We go to London. So we go to London.
You know, my leg was broke.
Your leg was broke.
Oh, that's right. Because Jeff had the car accident. We were recording our first album, and you had just had the car accident before we went to record in London. I forgot about that. Your leg was in the cast.
Yes.
Because we're gonna talk about how my cast got off.
Oh, yeah. Because Dr. Kill Patient over here. You know what I mean? Yeah. We'll talk about.
First of all, we have to talk about how Charlie got his passport and what his first experience is when he got his passport.
Yes, we do.
So Charlie Mack, he had moved from the neighborhood pharmaceuticals, and we were like, yo, man, it's a better life for you. It's a better world for you. Come with us. We about to go to London. You can be our security. And as a crew, we gonna all rise above where we at. So Charlie had to go down and sign into being a part of American citizenship and being the government. And he got his passport. And we all get our passports for the first time. And Charlie's looking at his passport and his face just drops. Oh. My name was Earl. I thought my middle name was Earl. It's Edward. He's like, what? Charlie didn't know his middle name until he got his passport.
Oh my goodness. Hey, man.
I was like, that's my guy right there.
Hey, listen.
He's my guy forever.
Listen, and so that was your moment. So I had my moment. Let me talk about my moment. So that was your moment before we got on the plane. My moment was when we got to London. When I actually fell in love with you, okay? So we were in the studio 12 hours a day. We would do 8 to 8.
Yes.
Okay, we would do 8 to 8. And
hard work pays.
Yeah, we did 8 to 8. But I guess this particular night, we were going probably 8 at night till 8 in the morning. Or, no, probably 6 to 6.
Yeah.
Something like that. 6 to 6, 5 to 5. But we would get to the hotel, and everybody was, I'm talking about, dead to the bone tired.
Yeah.
This one particular night, okay, we're dead tired. So the way it was set up was Jeff, JL, and Reddy stayed in one room, and then me.
Oh, that's right. Me and you, we would always room together.
We would room together. You're right.
I forgot about that.
So this particular night,
I wouldn't do that today with you. I wouldn't do that. If I knew then what I know now, I would have roomed with Jeff. Yeah, Charlie was a rough roommate. But go ahead. Oh, I remember that. That's the night I hit my eye on
absolutely.
Can
I tell the story?
I forgot.
Can I tell the story? Okay.
Yeah.
So again, Will's bed was closer to the window. Mine was closer to the door. Right? So say we laid down for about a good, maybe we just settle in, maybe an hour. Maybe.
Yeah.
Someone knocks on the door. Everybody's dead tired. We always drew the curtains. We closed the curtains so it could be pitch black. So next thing you know, somebody knocks the door. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. So we both ignoring it. And then at a point, Will says, Charlie, get the door. I was like, no, you get the door. Charlie, get the door. No, you get the door. Now it's pitch black. We can't see him. We can't see our hands in front of him.
He doesn't understand the basic nature of employment.
Charlie, get the door. No, you get the door.
No, you get the Joker. Get you security.
I'm making the records.
Get the door.
I'm making the records. Right. That's you listen. Technically, Will, I was on my clock at that point.
Yeah.
Technically, I was on my clock, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so
he told me to get the door.
Will gets frustrated at them saying, he just so then he gets up. Someone left the dresser, the bottom dresser drawer open.
Yes. Someone.
All this is happening.
Not me.
Sound.
Who's in the room? It was just you and him?
Manuel.
Okay.
Yeah. So all this is happening. I'm talking about this sound, audio, no visuals.
Yeah, it was pitch
Because I'm laying
black.
in the bed with my back turned to the door, and it's pitch black. So Will goes, he gets up, and all you hear is boom.
Yeah.
And then you hear, God damn it. And then he reaches down for his shin. He get, God
Yeah, and
damn it.
I hit my eye.
God damn it.
Yeah, it was bad. I got out and I caught my shin on the bottom of the thing, and I bent over to get it and hit my eye on the drawer of the nightstand.
Listen to me. When I tell you, that very moment is like,
Yeah.
I said, I
was hurt bad.
I said, listen to me. This is my dude for life. I love this dude.
Because it was just pitch black and you was listening to me scream, and that was fun for you.
Now, the thing about it is you got to tell them that we find comedy and joy in people's pain.
Woo.
That probably was the initiation of it.
You find comedy and joy in my pain.
When I fell at the trailer, you found comedy at it too.
That was funny when you fell off the trailer. You too big to fall. You shouldn't fall. After about 250, 260 pounds, human beings should stop falling.
But
it's not a good look.
But nevertheless, you found joy in it.
Yes, no, that was very, very, very funny.
So again, you know what I mean? Listen.
You could have broke your spine.
It kind of, and you didn't care.
Well, at the moment, I did say, "Yo, man, you cool?" Yeah, when you fell, that was funny. Okay.
Oh,
now we have a very rich history of injury.
Yes, and we find joy in it.
And we do find. As long as you're not like hurt.
Right.
If you had been hurt, I'd have been like, ah.
Oh. Right. And then we came back from the hospital, you'd have laughed.
Yeah, I'd have been. I wouldn't have laughed with you. I would have laughed with Jeff and JL now.
And by the way, just so y'all know, we refer to ourselves as the TH Posse. And 3 of our brothers aren't here right now, which is Omar, JL. That's 3. That's 2. And then
yeah, that's 2.
Yeah, that's 2. So 2.
That's 2.
So 2. So 3.
Go ahead. Okay, so that's 2, and you said 3.
Look at right now. Look at right now.
I got it. Go ahead. We're gonna keep track of how many of us are in the 2 there.
James the Hammer, JL Lassiter, and Omar Money. So just give them love. But I wanted to open up with something. I wanted to tell you and Jeff, through the grace of God, y'all came down and took a man out of the inner city of Philadelphia, Southwest Philadelphia in particular, Woodland Avenue to be more specific, that y'all have always would dog me out about Woodland Avenue. And I just want to definitely, say
I love Woodland Avenue.
You didn't.
I do. My face stayed straight. I do.
You never loved it, okay? And you're an actor. You're one of the best actors in the world, so you can have a straight face. But anyway, let me say what I got to say. So I just want to tell you that, again, at that point in time, my life was headed really, 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 really in a terrible space. Although I was making a substantial amount of money, I'm saying my life was ending. So I always talk about my pockets may have been wealthy, but my spirit was impoverished.
Yes.
And what y'all did, Jeff and Will, which y'all did for me, is y'all gave me the opportunity to change my life. And I just want to tell you that I appreciate you so very much because, again, you afforded me the opportunity to take care of myself and to take care of my family. And that right there, I'm forever indebted. I forever love you. I forever will give my life for you. And I'm saying this in the public forum today, you know what I mean? That, again, that right there changed the trajectory of what could have been a really, really disastrous and tragic ending.
Yeah, no, you was on a bad road. You was on a bad road. We talk about that a lot. But what I can say for you, and it happens, I give a lot of people opportunities, and you'd be very surprised the low ratio of people that actually can even handle the assistance, right?
We've seen it happen many times.
It's probably somewhere around less than 10% of people that I extend the opportunity that I have extended to you. The way that Jeff and I said, hey man, we see something special in you. Come with us on this ride.
Right.
You've seen many people come and go.
Right.
When people get into self-destructive patterns, it is difficult to impossible to break people out of them, right? So for me, one of the major and most beautiful things that you were able to overcome is enemy mindset, right? I could very well say, I don't know another person that overcame the perception that everybody's trying to get me. I don't trust nobody. Everybody's my enemy, right? I've tried to help multiple people, 20 to 30 people with that mindset. Enemy mindset doesn't break.
Let me tell you what's crazy about this right now. I've had this moment already happened. What you just said is freaky because I've had it already. Like what you just said, I already had this.
Yeah, and I'm saying to you, you broke enemy mindset, right? And you are 1 in a million with that ability to be able to relax enough and let your guard down enough to let somebody close enough to hurt you after it's been proven to you over and over again that everybody's trying to hurt you.
This is crazy.
Right? And you allowed yourself to trust and to go against things that you believed. On my word, on many occasions, that I could say to you, Charlie, listen to me. I swear to God, you're wrong, and you're about to make a really big mistake. Please don't do that. Please trust me.
That's not what you said, but I'm
well, I know. I'm like, I just did on IG Live. Can I say what I really said?
Yeah, please.
I can say, hey, look,
keep
nigga,
it on. Listen.
Put it
Put it on the
you
table.
got to do some dumb
Hey,
shit.
Will, give it. Listen to me. I have a real conversation in a real way, a real platform, with real people. We're not going to sugarcoat it. Okay?
All right.
So we're going to speak. We're going to talk. We're going to talk. This is a conversation between me and Jeff that we letting people come in.
Because I use a lot of profanity when I talk to you because it like your head blocks a lot of stuff. So you got to use hard, heavy words.
Like,
motherfucker, listen.
We just Philly clapped you.
You got to tell them, listen. Yo.
In my face. No,
in your
my face. No.
Charlie, I am not going to tell you one more time. If you bring a trash bag full of 5s and 1s,
it wasn't
on
5
an
and 1s.
airplane, one more time.
I keep telling you it wasn't 5s and 1s. I keep telling you that it wasn't. But go ahead. But for the sake of 5s and 1s, yeah, 5s and 1s. Go ahead.
Yeah.
If we bring a what? Go ahead.
If you bring a trash bag full of 5s and 1s,
right,
on an airplane one more time, I'm going to call the FBI myself. The lifestyle you were in, for you to, because we weren't making money. It's not like we was making.
Let's talk about what it was. It was $1,500 a show.
Yeah, so for you to walk away from 10 or 15 grand a week to take 1,500 on.
I was getting $45 a show.
We were paying you more than that, Charlie.
No, you weren't. I promise you.
Well,
you couldn't.
Okay.
You couldn't. Think about the breakdown. You couldn't. You had
How much was we paying them, Jeff? Tell the truth.
It was probably $50. No, really.
It was a little more.
No, it wasn't. No, do the numbers. Run the numbers.
All right. Well, I was putting in more than that. Jeff might have been skimming off the top, keeping the other part for him. But I was putting in.
Well, by the time it got to
you, and Jeff had put his tax on it.
But guess what? Let me tell you something. The amazing thing about it is that you said this to me one time. You said, Charlie, listen to me. Do not ever. And this is actually when I came to LA. You said, don't ever question me about the dollar.
Right.
What I'm gonna tell you is I'm gonna change your life.
Right.
Yeah. Don't ever ask me about that. Don't ever ask me about it. Don't think about it. Don't utter that. Do not talk to me about money. What we're gonna do, we're gonna change the world.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm telling you, dude, I have said that to so many people. The transition that you have made in your life, to break that trajectory and to end up where you are today, it's one out of 1,000, dude.
Yep.
Easy.
Yep.
1 out of 1,000 with the opportunity.
Well, you got to think, I'm saying, and you got to take into account, I was my own boss forever.
Yeah.
Right? And the thing about it was that I felt
And then you became my boss. Telling me I got to get the door when you secure it. Yeah, so it's a little bit, you just got an extra employee.
That pays me. That pays me. That pays me.
$45.
You pay me the best
job. That's the best job ever.
So with that being said, wow, man, you're
sorry. Go ahead. You were saying you're talking about your transition, making the transition.
Listen, dude, you only give me a certain amount of time. Okay.
All right. Okay.
We got a lot to get in.
Sorry.
Okay. And you know you're anal about.
Sorry, Jefe. Go ahead. This is your show. This is your show. Go ahead.
So with that being said, you threw my whole train of thought, man. God. Get me back on track, bro. Come on. Because
Charlie, you keep saying with that being said. You gotta stop saying, I'm trying to help you do your show. You keep saying with that being said.
Okay. So
just let it be said. And just move on. You don't have to say with that being said. Now, with that being said, let's move to. No, you were talking about how people we were talking about the transition, right? And this is really serious, and specifically in this time, for our community, this is a really critical concept, right? And you know, the African American plight, for the first time in world history,
yes,
is being acknowledged globally, right? There is more opportunity that is going to blossom over the next year and a half for African American entrepreneurs and for political aspirants, and you know, the world has recognized our plight, right? And there's going to be so many opportunities and possibilities and people that want to help. And the thing that I fear most is the thing that we're talking about, where our minds potentially have been so habituated to enemy mindset that we won't be able to recognize the new friends we have. You know, and it's a really, really critical time for us as a community to recognize the inner blocks that we may have to our progress in the moment that a lot of the outer blocks have been moved away in an unprecedented way. You know, so it's one of the reasons I was excited about doing this conversation with you now. I think you represent a very powerful example of, you know, making that transition from, you know, having to do what you got to do to survive, to making your way into learning how to play the game and how to use the system and how to seize the tiny little cracks when the door opens. You know, you learn how to get your foot through that door when the tiniest crack opens up, and you never let it close again.
Well, again, you know? I'm saying, so with that being said, my whole
you
journey,
said with that being said again,
my whole journey with hustling was, again, to in a poverty situation and see work, right? So again, I think because the creator understood the core of who I was, he offered it to me without me having to have a tragic ending to it.
Yes, exactly.
You know, and so it was like, okay, I'm going to give you this opportunity. And again, and that's the thing, because watch this. You never knew that. Well, you did know, because of course y'all paid me the $50 or $45, so of course you knew that.
It was at least
but you said you gave me more. You said you gave me more, but so at least 100. But anyway, I'm saying what you extended to me was the opportunity that I yearned for. Right. And although it was the moment, so I got met with that moment twice. First, of course, when y'all first take me on, you know, I was, of course, you know, having a substantial amount of more money. And again, that was the thing that I wanted. I wanted a better life. Right. Not more money. I wanted a better life. So when you extended that opportunity and Jeff came and got me, it was like, okay, it wasn't even a question. Because at that point in time, I'm saying I was in a transitional point in my life. I had 2 open cases at the time. And they were trying to give me a 3rd case. which would have gave me a federal case, right? So Jeff never talked finances. He just said, "This is the opportunity, and if you want it, listen. I'm telling you, it ain't the money you used to make it, but we're gonna see the world."
Yeah.
Right now, we go on the road, and again, I never even asked. I was like, "Let's go," right? Because I was already pretty much still solvent financially.
Yeah.
You like that? Did you like that? You like
that? Was a good word.
You like?
He said I was still solvent financially. I'm going to bring that up later. We're going to circle back to that, buddy.
Is the mayonnaise level still in effect?
The mayonnaise level,
yes.
yeah. Oh, that was another thing. Jeff always had what he called the mayonnaise level. And he didn't want there to be any words that were bigger numerically or conceptually than mayonnaise, right? So when you say a word, you know, it could be shorter, but if it was conceptually bigger, Jeff would be like, "Yo, mayonnaise level, dude. Mayonnaise level. That's over the mayonnaise level. No words bigger than mayonnaise."
Another time that happened, I'm going to jump through. We're going to get back. Is when y'all did the interview with Brian Gumble.
Oh, man.
That was fantastic.
He says, "Do y'all plan on doing hip hop in perpetuity?" And Jeff was like,
Jeff, that was one of my favorite times.
I was trying not to embarrass Brian Gumble with the mayonnaise thing. I wanted to be like, "Dude, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Mayonnaise.
Jeff, you just turned and looked right at me. Like,
I'm like, get him.
He said,
You better get him.
You better
he
get him.
said, "Do you think rap music is something that you'd be interested in doing in perpetuity?" Jeff was like, we do it in Philly.
Southwest,
Southwest.
West Philly.
We do it in Delaware sometimes. We did it in New York once.
We did it in New York. Right.
Yeah.
Right. But perpetuity.
Perpetuity was a lot.
We probably would never do that ever.
Yeah.
But with that being said, the mayonnaise level has been implemented. We had a couple keywords. Mayonnaise level, of course, put on the table.
Put it on the table was big.
Put on the table was lovely. Jeff actually didn't succumb to none of our childish,
Succumb's a good word too, Charlie. Succumb. You know what? That's another thing that I like, that you older. Like you just use good words. He talking about, I was solving financially, but I wasn't gonna succumb. Yeah. Okay, mayonnaise.
Hey,
mayonnaise.
Hey, listen, man, the mayonnaise level was in effect.
That's right.
Mayonnaise level was in effect.
And then we had one that we called put on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, you gotta put it on the table. I think that's something that everybody should use.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. It's like the red table is kind of like put it on the table.
Put it on the table, right?
Where you say everything exactly as it is.
Why did Jeff avoid any of that?
Yeah, Jeff.
Don't put me in your stuff. Don't put me.
Yeah, Jeff didn't like. Yeah, he had a little bit of an aversion to the truth. Yeah.
I didn't want to succumb to being put on the table.
You know. So with that being said, oh man, you're throwing me, dude. You're making it difficult for me to get through my
hey man,
timeline.
Listen.
So with that being
said, I can take over for you.
No.
No.
So folks that have been under a rock for the last 33 years.
Yes.
If you could actually tell the story of how you and Jeff got together, how I came to actually work with you all. You know what I mean? Because I think because let me say something to you. You understand? There are, this is a whole generation, this social media world. Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince haven't done this together.
Yeah, that's real.
And watch this, in this medium.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's the first, we haven't been on nothing. We haven't done it.
You didn't hear what I said, though, Will. You missed it.
He said, in this medium.
That's little. That word's little. That word's little. No credit for that one.
But Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince has yet, I'm saying this is the inaugural.
Yeah, that's true.
Instagram conversation.
We haven't done an IG live combo.
Jazzy Jeff Fresh Prince. Yeah. So with that being said, how did y'all hook up?
Hold on. Oh, hold on. Oh, sorry.
My mic don't sound nice?
My mic don't sound nice. Why? My mic don't. Can y'all hear? Y'all can hear me though, right?
Yeah.
I was putting the mic on. They just told me that my mic fell off. Oh yeah, it did, but now it's on. How's that? Can you hear me?
Yep.
My mic sounds nice. Check one. My mic sounds nice.
Check
Um,
two.
So Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince. So that was it was 1985, right, Jeff?
Yep.
And you were doing you stole a party from me because I started off as a DJ.
I didn't. Well, then I absolutely stole that party.
If you was a DJ.
Yeah, I was a DJ.
It was a party on his block.
On my block.
Wow.
A party that I had done 2 years in a row prior. And then all of a sudden, I'm out. This little joke.
Well, actually, you weren't out. That was the beginning of us being in.
Ooh.
Yes. There you go.
Deep, deep. Deep.
Okay.
DJ Deep.
It was a house party on his block.
It was at Oris and Judy Stewart's house.
Yep.
I don't remember if it was Oris or Judy's birthday.
Yeah, it was somebody's birthday.
Yeah.
But
you don't even know the people. You stole the party and don't even know the people. Tragedy.
Hey, Will.
Tragedy.
Will?
Yes.
Fresh Will. That's
yeah,
Fresh Will.
I call you. Fresh Will.
Listen, can Jeff tell his story? Because again, you know you're gonna take it. Can Jeff tell his story?
Okay.
It was both of our story.
You know where you got me, Charlie? Right there. That's where you just got me. That's where you just got me, Charlie. Right there. Right there is where you hit me. Go ahead, Jeff.
Because you are the storyteller of the group.
Tell your little story, Jeff.
I'm coming to you.
Maybe I'll be here, maybe I won't. Go ahead. Now you're leaving all this dead airtime on IG Live.
No, I'm trying to get to the point where we are today. There was a trajectory like that.
Okay. Trajectory is a good word. But I had said that one twice already. So you can't just repeat a word I said and get the same credit I got for it.
All right. We're kind of dual tasking today. Mm-hmm. We're on Instagram Live and we're on Twitch.
Okay.
We're on Twitch.
Okay, fancy.
You know what I mean? Yeah, we're going on Twitch
fancy
because
Mac.
Yeah, so you
Two streams.
You know what I mean?
2 streams.
So we gotta give the Twitch family some love.
Because I do 2 streams.
I'm gonna hurt you. You know, but yeah, so go ahead. Go ahead, Jeff. You were talking.
Listen, man, this was pre-social media. This was no pager. Mm-hmm. So when you call somebody, I got a call saying that they wanted a house party done on 59th and Woodcrest. I picked up the phone and called my MC at the time, and he wasn't in the house.
Was it Ice? It was Ice.
It was Ice. And he wasn't in the house because this is when you called a girl and she had to be home. You couldn't text her or page her or Instagram or TikTok her or any of that other stuff. If she wasn't home,
you wouldn't
she wasn't
have
home.
TikToked her anyway.
Yeah, that's true. So I just went to do the party. I was like, listen, I'm MC-less.
MC-less. Wow.
And when we started setting up the equipment, Will walked in the basement. And I was like, I know you. Like, we be at the Win together.
Wow.
And he was like, where's Ice? And I was like, I couldn't find him. He said, you mind if I rock? And that might have been one of the most legendary nights I've ever had.
So essentially, you came for a hostile takeover. He took your DJ job, but
he took the DJ job, and I really wanted to like square off on dude. I had my boys. I was like, yo, what's up? You know.
So you really came to check up, but he threw you off.
He threw me off being all nice. I was like,
the Jedi mind trick. He was like,
what's all the niceness? Joker, you stole my party. Like, hey, buddy, I know you.
It could be both for hours.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
It could be both for hours.
Absolutely. So Jeff, what was it about Will? What was the mystique about Will? What was it that drew you to him?
There was no other rappers there.
Knew everything I was going to do before I did it.
Yeah.
And that came
from
observation. Like Will started paying attention that I did certain things with different hands. And he would call something out for me to do when I was on the offhand, knowing that I would bring it in and then it would be time for me to do it. And I was like, how do you know that? And the whole night was that. He would say a rhyme, and I know that the punchline of the rhyme usually comes on the 4th bar, and I would drop the music out so he could say his punchline and everybody would cheer and then bring the beat back. And he's looking at me like, how did I know that? So
Yeah.
at the end of the night, I was like, yo, what you doing tomorrow? And tomorrow ended up being 36 years.
So Fresh Little,
Yeah.
what was the allure and the mystique about Jeff?
Yeah, it was just what he was doing with turntables.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can hear me? Yeah, what he was doing with turntables, he retired me that night, right? Because I had my own turntables and I was DJing, and I watched him cut one time because it was before anybody knew about the stuff, right? It was like hip hop was still brand new, and DJ Cutting Flash was really the only person that was nationally recognized on that level, and there was nobody that was doing what Jeff was doing with turntables. And I would say the big thing for me, well, the first thing was the sync. We were just in so much sync. He understood rhyming, I understood cutting, right? So we were finding each other. It was like a jazz session that first night, and we were really finding each other in a beautiful way. And it was like he would do something, and I started naming the things he would do, right? So that was what he would just create something, and then I would make a name for it. And because I understood it, it was like a ringleader at a circus that shows you where to look and what to listen and explains what's happening. I started taking that position because I knew at that point, seeing somebody cut, for a lot of people, it would be the first time they'd ever seen it. Yeah. Like that's hip hop was that new. You could be in a crowd where half the crowd had never seen somebody cut and rap before. Yeah. So it needed explanation. So it was just something that I knew how to prop him up in a way that people could comprehend what was happening.
Yeah.
So do you remember the very first, because I know you are anal about detail.
Hey, man.
Yeah, anal, yeah. Right? You're anal about detail. And that did just, for people that think it happened, just happened. No, that's actually how you got till today. Because again, preparation and your approach to whatever you do was very, very detailed. Yeah. Do you remember the first conversation that solidified the partnership?
Well, we both had different crews at that time. He was with Ice, and at the time I was with the Hypnotic MCs, DJ Groove. Right. And as y'all know, I'm like wildly loyal. It is hard for me to, like, you know,
shake away,
break up a group. So
no, you have a famous quote that you live by.
What I said?
Never fired anyone.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
You said never fired anyone.
But people fire the hell out of themselves.
Yes, they do.
No, that's real. I'm saying loyalty. I'm not gonna say to a fault, but loyalty is unmatched.
Yeah, no, loyalty is real for me. It's like I believe in people, you know, and I give everybody every possible opportunity I can give, because it hurts me when people around me don't.
You might have gave me a little bit more possibility though.
No, it was a couple days. It was a couple days you should have been pink slipped. You definitely from in Hawaii.
I was about to say it. You can share that
before the show.
5 minutes before the show. Go ahead.
5 minutes before the show. What was we arguing about? Oh, we was arguing about the luggage or something.
Listen, I know. He left Omar's luggage at the airport.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And at that point in time, you had the DOC's sample. The doctor.
The doctor.
You said it so many times. You had said it literally from the airport to the show.
But see,
because what happened?
You got to talk about how the doctor. You got to talk about.
No. What happened was you were responsible for the luggage. And this is when I started reading all these corporate books, and I was trying to I wanted our stuff to be
corporate
structured, right? So I started reading all that stuff. So I learned about docking, that you didn't have to fire somebody. You could dock their pay. I was like, yo, you can do that? So like somebody can be supposed to get $500 and they do something wrong. So you can be like, yo, you docked, and just take $75. So I learned about docking. I had just read that you could dock people. So you were responsible for the luggage, and you left Omar's luggage at the airport.
He screamed at me.
No.
Wait, let him tell
I didn't
it.
scream. Yeah, thank you, Your Honor. Please instruct the defendant to shut up while I'm talking, please. No, so you had left the luggage, and we had gotten into something, and all I know is I was like, oh shit, I can dock him. I can dock him.
I'm the dock button.
I was like, you know what? You docked. You docked. $50. You docked.
What happened was Omar kept asking me for where's the bag?
And
I was ignoring him.
You were ignoring him because you didn't know.
Then you interceded. You
hadn't done the job that you were getting paid to do. You had
interceded.
Okay, I interceded because I was the boss. Well, you lucky I don't pay you. You'd be docked right now. You would be docked right now. No, so I learned that. So I said you docked. You docked.
Yes.
No,
what you did was you asked me, Charlie. Omar asked, did you leave his bag? I understand what you're saying, but were you responsible? I don't care about that. You said I don't care about that.
You kept saying he ain't gonna be talking to me like that.
Exactly.
He ain't gonna be talking. He ain't gonna be disrespecting me. He ain't gonna be talking to me like that.
Exactly.
And I said, did you leave his bag or not? He ain't gonna be disrespecting me. He ain't gonna be disrespecting me.
Exactly.
That's what you kept saying. That's right. That's what happened. And then I said, you docked. You docked. You docked. $50. You docked. So I took, and you was like, what? You don't take my money? You don't take my, I said, I just did. You docked. And then you squared up like you was going to hit me.
Right.
Remember? And first you punched.
And you docked again.
You punched the, punched the locker. We were in an arena or something. You punched the locker. And I said, oh, you want to punch stuff? You want to punch stuff? You docked again. You docked again. And then you turned and you went to leave and you threw the door open.
No, that's not what happened. You missed the big point.
No, that's exactly what happened.
That's not true. No, that's not true. What you said was you came up to my face.
I'm out.
You said y'all. No, what happened was, listen, you're going to appreciate this. What you said was hit me. Don't hit me. That's what you did. You came up on me in my face and said, hit me. And then I walked out the door.
Okay, so I want to say.
And then I started singing, right?
I want to say that was unprofessional on my part. All right, okay. As your employer at that time,
you already got me.
Probably shouldn't have been in your face saying hit me. I shouldn't have been saying that. And then you stormed out. And then you stormed out.
I wanted to exit. I wanted to exit out of it because I didn't.
In order to not hit me.
Because I didn't want to get docked or fired. No, fired. How about that?
Fired, yeah.
Get docked. Because at that point, if I hit you, I was going home. Because actually, after me doing what I did to Jeff, we finished the show, but it was definitely.
But you keep missing the part that you almost ruined everything.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Go ahead.
You threw the door open when you were leaving, and Jeff Wright was reaching for the door, and the door slammed into Jeff's hand.
Right.
His good scratching hand.
The transformer hand?
His transformer hand.
That was our first show in Hawaii, and I never got a chance to do a DJ routine.
Oh, my God. Sorry.
Yeah, because that night Jeff was just
Look. He was Jazzy Jeff without the magnificent?
Yeah, he was like, that joint was up like this, and all he could do was play the records.
Because Jeff's hand was fractured. It was fractured.
You fractured his hand. It was your left hand or your right hand, Jeff?
It was my right hand.
Your right hand. Charlie Mack tried to kill Jazzy Jeff in the sea. So it's like Highlander or something, like where you go back.
No, the bad thing about it, you had already docked me twice. Then when I did that, you said you docked again. You docked me 3 times in the night.
Oh, damn, that's right. I forgot. Oh, yeah, after you had Jeff's hand. You was going to owe us money after that shit.
Listen, Jeff, out of the 40, how much did I say? How much
he said 40 out of
you were
making a couple hundred at that point. You was making a couple hundred.
About 1,500.
You was making, yeah.
But you was tearing through it. You was tearing through it.
I was tearing through it.
No, you were tearing through it.
You was tearing through it.
You was tearing through it. No, because again, it was like, the way it happened is that Omar was the baby of the bunch. And I felt as if y'all were protecting him, insulating him from being not responsible, but being respectful towards me. And because, again, you understand, I come from the streets, and I didn't let people talk to me any kind of way. So they had to, again, you got to think, I came into a situation where, because
I'm letting them talk.
I came into a situation where I had never had an employer. So it was difficult for me already even to humble myself, and I knew that what the opportunity was affording me. I couldn't take that. I knew that I had to take a direction from you and Jeff. And Jeff clearly wasn't, I'm saying, an aggressive person in that way. Jeff would just say what he said, man, a few words, you know what I mean? Again, he wanted what he wanted, and he said it, he was clear. Me and you, of course, you know what I mean?
We were always colliding.
Because again, always colliding, right? But
because to me, it was pleasurable to boss a big person around. Like when somebody's really big, he'd be like, hey man, hold up.
No, hey man, you docked. You're docked.
You docked. You docked.
Let me tell you how horrible Will is. Let me tell you how horrible he is. Will actually, so again, listen to me. So he actually came up with a song, the doctor. When they would actually dock me, they would talk me.
They would get Doctor to sing the song. You know, right. I'd be like, hey Charlie, you know who just got here? The doctor. That'll cost you 50, buddy. Yeah.
No, but the
to the sea.
Listen, the bad thing about it was because we did the show. We came back in the dressing room to go to the hotel, and it's quiet. And Will said, the doctor.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. As I'm maturing, I recognize docking an employee and then making up a song about it to taunt him is not appropriate.
It's torture.
It's torture. Yeah.
It's torture. And you were torturing me.
That was bad.
No, not only that, I'm saying you confronted me nose to nose. Hit me! No, hit me! I was like,
that's unprofessional. That's unprofessional. Yeah. Actually, you know what? When we started off, I was saying how well you'd done making the transition. You actually didn't do a good job. It was the skin of your teeth all the way through. Like you just barely made it to where you are.
Oh my goodness.
You tried to throw it away a lot.
Oh my goodness. I actually didn't, but I'm saying it took me a minute to come through.
Yeah. No, you came through though. You came through. I'm very proud.
The blessing is that absolutely you were getting calls from everybody. This dude is like uncoachable.
Yeah. Yes.
He's a street dude.
True.
He's a street dude. He's wild.
He's a street dude. He's wild. And you know, I had people say to me, "Hey, listen,
I'm warning you. I'm warning you.
Like you're on a really great trajectory, and this guy, you know, is going to pull you down." And that only fueled me. Like when people would say that, it was like because I knew that was wrong. Like I'm good at seeing people's hearts, right? So I can tell what people's hearts are as opposed to their actions. I can't always tell if someone will overcome themselves because that's very rare but I always knew that under the character of Charlie Mack was a dude that wanted nothing more than to do right.
Mm-hmm.
Just wanted desperately to do right, and had overcome the world. And the only question was, could you overcome yourself? You know, and I just always knew that, and I always saw that. And when you would stumble, I never felt
you never penalized me. Y'all never penalized me for my stumbles.
Yeah,
never.
Nah.
Like never ever. Like I never had a situation again other than me crushing Jeff's hand where I felt like I'm saying, okay, they make it the plane ticket for me.
Yeah.
Like never ever.
No, we should have. We should have. We definitely should have. You should have been out that day. We should be doing this interview right now with whoever the new security was.
So, Will, we're going to not put a pause in, but the Twitch audience wants to know where your art come from. They love your art.
Oh, Twitch. Oh, say what's up to Twitch.
Yes.
We got the Twitch. We doing
double
streaming.
Yes.
Twitch audience is there. What's up, y'all? Thanks for coming. That's two of my wait, is Twitch Charlie's too? Or is Twitch mine? Twitch is Charlie's.
No.
So Charlie did all this. So all of this, Charlie gets all the benefit of this, and I get nothing. Who approved that? Which one of you guys approved that? So Twitch, what's up, Twitch? Shout out to Trey. My son Trey should be on there. He's on Twitch all the time at 3 o'clock in the morning, loud.
Loud?
Yeah, real loud.
Twitch is an awesome platform.
No, Twitch is ridiculous. So
Jeff
I'm saying, what's up?
Jeff has a show on there, and I also have a show on there with me and Lady B called Behind the Rhyme. Yeah, we do.
Do I get a cut of any of that, or is it just you guys keep all this stuff for yourselves?
We can talk offline. I'll speak to Todd offline. You know what I mean?
Well, I think we might need to pause here and straighten that out. I think we should stop it right here and get the business right.
Deal. You are somewhat of a big deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm supposed to be getting a cut. I'm supposed to be Don King in this thing.
Well, Jeff is DJ Jazzy Jeff. He's the cutter.
He's the cutter. Okay.
I thought you gave up the cut.
Yeah, that is true.
Okay.
And Jeff been skimming off the top for years. He think I don't know. He was older than me, so he was always getting the check first, taking his cut, and then splitting the rest with me.
Great segue into my next question. How did it become DJ Jazzy Jeff in the Fresh Prince versus the Fresh Prince being the MC in front? How'd that come about?
How'd that come about, Jeff?
Well, listen, it was Eric B. and Rakim.
It was.
No, I was younger, and Jeff took advantage of my youth and put his name first on the contract. No, that was just of the time the DJ's name just went. Yeah, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five.
Right.
You know, Eric B. and Rakim. It was like the DJ's name usually went first. And Jeff actually, he got out of the blocks faster than me. Jeff won the battle for world supremacy in, was it 86?
86.
The DJ battle for world supremacy in New York. So Jeff was on a global scene as a DJ.
I owe you that one.
You owe me a lot. You owe me a lot, Jeff.
You owe me a lot.
You at least 20% of your Twitch.
So when we went to do the battle for world supremacy, Will knows that, you know, I'm laid back, and I went to go shake I was going up against the current champion, and I went to go shake his hand, and he wouldn't shake my hand. And Will looked at me like real angry from the crowd, and was just like, "You Will."
Wow. His ass.
And it changed. It changed my approach.
Wow. Yeah, you know, Jeff got a little fire in there every once in a while.
You have to strike that match a few times.
I wanted to say that I've always been mad at Jeff about.
Oh shit.
No.
Let's put it on the table. Put it on the table.
Okay, listen.
Put it on the table.
Put it on the table.
So I started in this industry. One of the biggest and the most important things to me was to travel, right? It was one of the biggest things in music and in my life. I had driven when I was like 8. My father took my whole family across the country in a camper, and I saw the Grand Canyon. And you know, we drove the southern route and then came back the northern route through North Dakota, went through the Badlands and back through Chicago, Niagara Falls. So you know, I had been around this country and I loved and I wanted to travel. And the first time that Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince had an opportunity to go to Africa. You remember that? We got offered a concert in Africa, and tears came to my eyes. Like, I was so excited to go to do this concert, and Jeff said no. He didn't want to go. And Jeff, why didn't you want to go? Why? So
pass it over to you.
Why did you say you didn't want to go, Jeff?
I don't remember.
Do you remember the quote?
No.
The quote.
He said, and I quote, "Man, we don't even know what kind of bugs is going to be over there." This joker turned down a trip to Africa the first time because we didn't know what kind of bugs was going to be over there.
Oh,
I bet there is a lot of people.
Where is Charlie throwing a door when you need him? And Jeff turned down Africa, and he turned down Australia for the same reason, because he didn't know what kind of bugs was going to be over there.
Hey, man.
I went, though. I eventually went.
You went 6 years later, Jeff.
It took a minute.
You had to get around to it.
So what was it, Jeff? Were you like, was it the flights? Because Jeff was a serious homebody. He would drive anywhere. Yeah. Do you remember when Jeff would get physically sick and start throwing up when we had to travel?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But if we gave him some milk and magnesia, get on that plane. Let's go. You know what I mean? You know?
Getting on this plane,
but no, that was at the point of the highest point of festivity for you, Will.
Oh,
you were steaming.
Yeah.
But you know what? But he was having serious physical and emotional reactions.
Anxiety.
And that's the kind of thing when I talk about, you know, as a community, when we fight for opportunities and we fight for those things, we have to recognize the biggest blocks are us.
All day.
All day long. It's like your mind is your biggest block to creating the life that you want. And as soon as, you know, we can recognize how much inner resistance we have to the things that we truly say we desire. And it's like, that's why I love the story of Lazarus in the Bible, where Lazarus had died, and Mary comes to Jesus and is like, hey, you know, my friends, the people, Lazarus died. Can you come raise him from the dead? So Jesus is like, oh, Mom. Right? So he wakes up, he has to walk the 4 miles over there. And when he gets there, Lazarus had been put into the tomb, and there was a big rock in front of the tomb. And Jesus was really upset. He was like, so I get up out of my bed and I walked 4 miles over here, and y'all want me to raise a man from the dead, and y'all can't even get the rock from in front of the tomb. At least move the rock, right? You got to do your part. You got to move the rock so the life can come into the things that you desire, you know? And that was one of the things I kept seeing over and over again with our crew. Everybody kept gently, and may take a long time, but we were moving those inner rocks that were keeping us from having all of the things that we desired and deserved in this world.
Yeah, it took longer for some of us.
Yes.
Especially me.
You came around though, Jazzy.
But what's crazy is Will and I probably traveled the globe equally.
Yes. You travel way more than me now.
More.
That's the thing that's so crazy.
Yeah, you're always overseas.
Yeah, Jeff traveled. Jeff would be throwing up and diarrhea and all of that by the thought of having to get on an airplane.
Yeah.
What would both of y'all have done if the career hadn't worked out? Jeff first.
I would have been working with you.
You've been sitting here with the show?
I've been in the back with a boom. Speak up a little bit, Charlie. Speak up just a little bit.
Look a boom, look a boom, look a boom, look a
Look a
boom,
boom, look a boom, look a boom.
So, Jeff,
my brain doesn't do that.
period.
No, I don't have a plan B.
Well, that's both.
No plan B. It distracts from plan A.
That's real. No, that's real. I mean, of course, I know that, but again, I want you to say it to our brothers and sisters. Now, I don't refer to these as our fans or support. These are our brothers and sisters. You know, that's what I call the brotherly love session. So, it's what it is. You know.
I would have been in science. You know, I always loved math and science. I absolutely the year '86 that I was supposed to be going to college was the first year that universities started offering computer science. So I absolutely would have been in the computer science. You know, I think at the core, the way my mind works is much more scientist than it is artist. The artist is the reach for me. Art and science are very similar, but you know, it's like at my core, I'm a physicist. You know, I'm trying to find the number one answer. I'm trying to find the pattern that is dependable and repeatable. And a big part of how I look at art and how I look at entertainment is scientifically.
Wow. So Jeff,
what would you have been, Charlie, if you hadn't taken this road?
You know what? I definitely wanted to be a CEO of a record company.
Yeah.
I always loved record. I always loved the entertainment business. Like I literally made the commitment in 1978, 79 that I would do this to the day that I die. I just happened to be utilizing the street pharmaceutical, finances to actually fuel it.
Yes, drug dealing. Yes. Drug dealing. That's what you meant? Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought I was just being clear. I was just.
Can we be a little politically? You know what I mean? Just
okay,
like,
sorry. It's wrong. No, you made the transition. You're like showing you in this light is really important, specifically in this time.
Hey man, listen. So Jeff, Will always talks about how Gigi, you know what I mean, was he really wanted to make her proud.
My grandmother, Gigi.
Yeah. So not, use a profanity and just the representation that he wanted his grandmother to be proud when she went around her friends or if she was working or whatever she did, he wanted her to make her proud. I haven't heard you talk about that as much. Where was your motivation and, where did that come from? Who drove you?
It was, my pop passed away when I was 10. And I have a vague memory, of who he was and what he liked. My mom, pretty much was that person that, listen, I set turntables up on my mom's buffet in the dining room, and she allowed me to play music really, really loud in the house without, my mom never told me, of course she tells you to turn it down, but my mom never deterred me from doing what I was doing. I remember when I won the new music seminar and came home and showed her the trophy, she cried. And that, that felt good just to kind of have your parents, to be there and understand, because especially back then, like Will said, this was so early in hip hop, I was embarrassed to give someone my resume of what I actually did. When you tell somebody that you're a DJ, you tell somebody you're a DJ, the first thing they would say is on a radio station, and you can't say nah at the win.
Nah, in my mom's basement. In my mom's basement.
In my mom's basement. But I'm really good.
So yeah, she loves it. My mom loves it.
Right.
I think just coming from doing something that hadn't really been done, was a little weird because I didn't have a reference point. So,
Okay. All right. So y'all, I want to know how this happened. At the point where y'all actually started your career and the messaging that you actually were utilizing, you removed profanity from your music. How did both of y'all sync like that? How did that even come about?
Well, when I first told Jeff that I didn't want to have profanity in the music, he was like, "Yo, that's fucking stupid." I said, "Stop cursing." No, but that was my grandmother.
Yeah.
You know, like my grandmother found my rap book, and because when I started writing, I was writing with all kinds of curse words. Like,
really?
Yeah. When I first started writing, it was you know, it fit in with what everybody else was doing. And she found my rap book, and she turned to the last page, and she never said anything to me. And she wrote, "Dear Willard, truly intelligent people do not have to use words like these to express themselves. Please show the world that you are as smart as we think you are. Love, Gigi." Wow. And then from that moment, I don't know if I wanted to, because it was really hard for me, because I like to express myself.
You throw
I can throw them. I can throw them with the best of them.
No. Listen. Now, let's let everybody know we have a thing called the mayonnaise level.
The mayonnaise level. Are we doing it? We gonna do that? We gotta do that again?
Well, I'm saying, listen. I'm just saying, I'm giving people context of how the Jazzy Jeff Fresh Prince, team work. You know what I mean? Because again, I'm saying, listen. The perception is that we were the nice guys.
Cool.
Yeah.
The perception was that we were the soft guys.
That's why we had to fight every week.
Every weekend.
Listen.
Now,
I remember one time.
Jeff stood on the curb.
Listen. Do you remember the time Russell had to pull us in, and he was like, "Okay, guys, listen. Here's the deal." He's like, "I got some of the hardest, roughest groups on tour. Why is it that Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince as the group? That's my problem group. Y'all get into a fight every night. How is it possible you can get into a fight every night?" And it was because of that, because we were the nice guys, we were the soft group.
The perception of it, though.
The perception, yeah. Wasn't nobody gonna say nothing to Chuck D. Like that. Wasn't nobody like
or Eric and Rakim.
Or Eric B and Rakim, right? So you go into these towns and people is mad. They felt like we was the easy win.
Listen.
We certainly were not.
Listen, Will, can I just say this, Will? I'm saying to you, what is our record? What?
We might be pushing up. We better than Floyd. We doing better than Floyd. We better than Floyd. Our record's better than Floyd. We up there with Marciano.
There was a lot of shows.
Listen. Let me say something to you, okay? Other than the L train, okay? Other than L train, we took no. Listen, I want everybody to know that. And again, the great thing about it is we weren't walking around with our chest out like that.
Yeah.
If you brought it to us, you were sadly mistaken.
No, what happened is we like to have fun. So
yes.
As I see now, that's different. Like we always had on bright fly clothes and we walked in loud making noise without, it's like you go into a new town and you don't know nothing, you should probably take it down a notch.
Right.
Just take it down a notch till you get the lay of the land.
Right.
But we didn't do that. We always went in loud and hard, and we ain't had no problem.
We almost took a major L with Willie from the Gulf gas station. Though.
Oh, that was bad. That was bad.
Yeah. We could touch on.
I think that was my first time ever getting shot at. I think that was my first time.
Yeah.
It was. So wait, so we got shot at in Albany, Georgia.
Yes.
We got shot at in Oakland.
No, and then when you grabbed the gun from the cop, get ready to shoot me.
That was an accident. That was an accident. That was a terrible day. That was a terrible day.
We were free fall fighting with the police officers of.
What city was that? I don't even remember what city we were.
I want to say it was Florida.
Don't even say the city. I don't want.
I just want to say it's Florida. That was many moons ago.
That was many moons ago. It was horrific. This ain't the time to talk about that, but we should. Yeah.
So I didn't say put it on the table, so we good.
But that's when I love you, right?
Hey man, I love you back.
Hey, that proved it. We were in a situation and a police officer went to pull his gun on Charlie, and I grabbed the gun.
Yes. And would not let it go.
And wouldn't let it go.
Right. He said, "Let my hand." He said, "Let it." He said, "Let it go."
And I would
said, "Let it go." You said, "I'm not letting it go unless you let that go."
Point it at my man.
Hey, listen, I love that, man. I appreciate you. I love you, brother. I love you.
What you didn't know is I was holding and I was whispering in his ears. I was like, "I'm so sorry. This was an accident. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I can't let it go, but I'm so sorry." Yeah, that was bad looks. That was bad times.
Wow. Y'all both had so much great chemistry with each other, much like y'all were one, right? Y'all just knew how if Jeff did something, you knew when to talk about it, you knew to kind of pop it in. Was that again? I'm just saying. I mean, of course, I know the brothers and sisters know. They want to know. Mm-hmm. How did it actually come seamless like that, where you were just one?
Yeah, I think for me, one of the big things was having been a DJ. Right, so because I was a DJ before, Jeff retired me, but Jeff retired me. It was like
and a producer.
Yeah, I was a DJ and a producer, and he straight retired me. So because I had a little bit of experience, I kind of understood, and Jeff was the musical genius in the group. I could rap, but I didn't know anything about records. And, Jeff had savant level comprehension of jazz, so Jeff could make records. I could rap, but Jeff was responsible for making all of the early records. I wasn't really a record maker. So he could take what I wanted to say. I didn't know about bar structure or story structure or hooks or anything like that. So, the first 3 albums is really all Jeff in terms of the structuring of it. And I would throw out ideas, and then he would say, no, don't say it like that. Do it like this, He
was the most amazing idea person ever, though.
Yeah.
Ever.
What would come to you with the building, with Empire State Building?
Yeah.
You got to work
and that
out.
was like idea, and that's the thing for me. It's like, and it's part of what I've always needed. It's like, I'm like, yo, man, what if we did? What if this? What if that? Hey, what if this? What if that? And I've always needed somebody to say, okay, that was 17 ideas. 12 of them were really good. 3 of them were great. So we're going to concentrate on those 3. And we're starting with this one. And that's what Jeff was really good with, for me to sort of narrow down all of that noise into what we're going to do today, what we're going to work on today. Sequencing the albums, mixing. I wasn't doing none of that stuff. I wanted to lay my lyrics and just go find some girls.
And be out. I'm out. You like,
I'm out.
Peace.
I'm out.
Yeah, peace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Peace. I holler at you. Salt and Pepper working in the other studio. I'll see you in a few.
But the Salt's on here too, and Russell's on here too.
Oh yeah, they on.
Yeah, Salt and Russell's on here.
Oh, that's it. What's up, y'all?
Yeah.
Oh,
so coming up, let's talk about Philly, because again, both you and Jeff always represented, even still today, you always represented Philly. And coming up in Philadelphia as a hip hop duo, and at a time where battling and then stating your claim. Who was your biggest nemesis coming up in Philadelphia? Yours, Jeff, and as well as Will.
I know who Jeff's was, because it was the only person in Philly I was ever scared of. Was Cash Money.
I wasn't scared of nobody.
Jeff wasn't scared, but I was scared. Cash was the only person that I ever thought.
You were scared for Jeff with Cash?
I was scared for Jeff with Cash.
Scared. Why?
Yeah. He was actually the only person I'd ever seen that could get anywhere near the masterful approach to the turntables that Jeff had, right? And Cash was always going that one trick too far that would throw Marv off, right? Cash would skip. Like, Cash would do all these great things, and then it'd be one thing and the needle would skip because he was trying something that was so incredible, right? Whereas Jeff never threw me off beat.
Wow.
And that, like, Jeff would keep the tricks just short of something that you can't dance to. Jeff always believed if you can't dance to it and a rapper can't rap to it, it don't count as real cutting.
Wow.
Right? So it was like, I saw Cash one time and I came in, Jeff, you got to learn how to flip over the turntable. I just saw Cash Money. He flipped over the turntable in the middle of the party. They fell over. He broke all the turntables, but the people loved it.
Cash them did it.
But yeah, so Cash, let me see, who else rapping? Who was I scared of? I don't know if people know, but I started out as a battle rapper. That was my thing. Everything was battle rapping. It was
Omar said he helped with that, by the way.
Yeah. Oh no, Omar definitely helped with that. Omar, he was good for a punchline or two.
Omar Money's in the building, just so we got to represent.
Yeah, I love that.
TDH is in the building for sure.
For me, it all started, with that idea of being soft. So the thing was, I had to be able to defend myself intellectually. So I had to be able to defend myself lyrically. So I developed a real comedic brutality where I could slice them up, right? And there were Jimmy the John was good.
Jimmy the John was good.
Jimmy the John, because he was in that. He would give me some of my own medicine. There was a lot of people who could really rap. Y'all remember Sheiky D?
Wow.
Yeah. He could, like, his voice was crazy. He could really rap. And it was a couple of people who could out rap me, but you just can't beat funny. If it don't matter how hot your lyrics are, if somebody makes people laugh at you, you're done. It's over. So there was always guys that could have, hot lyrics, but nobody could handle me because I'm telling jokes about you.
Right.
And it's like, and because of that little bit of a mean streak, right? Because I had been I felt like I had been mistreated. So there was a little bit of a mean streak in my lyrics. So I kind of wanted to hurt people. Right? So but I wanted us all to be laughing. Come on, man, we just joking. Just joking.
Yeah, you did that quite often.
Yeah. So it was like, but my jokes were my only defense mechanism. So I needed to cut people's head off fast. Comedically. I needed them to surrender immediately. So it's nukes from the door. So Jimmy the John, that was probably that was the only person that I had a little fear for.
So well, I got a little surprise for you this evening. And we want to direct our attention down to of course Twitch. Okay. Because we talk about MCing, right?
Talking about MCing.
And I had a conversation with someone, and that gentleman yesterday, I'm saying, is going to pop in right now. They actually coming up.
We got a gentleman.
It's the dog. It's the dog, man. It's the dog, man. And I got my baby bro right there. You know what I mean? My guy right here, Shaheem. I got my guy. So we got Shaheem. Shaheem has a show called The Walkthrough that Snoop is going to be on. So we are preempting the walkthrough.
That's great.
You know what I mean? So again,
beautiful.
listen, I had Snoop on with me last week, and he had a great story about you and of course Jeff, and I would let him actually talk about it. You know what I mean? How he felt about Judge of Fresh Prince. He's
double J. He's double J.
Jizzle.
He was just at my house a couple weeks ago.
The Jizzle, yeah. But he's very astute about Philadelphia hip hop in particular. He's a very like Snoop. Again, I understand why he's the dog father, because again, he's very knowledgeable about it, hip hop as a whole. You know what I mean? Whether it be old school or new school, and in particular, he knew a lot about you all. So if you could speak to that, Snoop.
That's crazy. Oh yeah. Thank you, man. Thanks, man. Yeah. 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 Truth. Mm. Yeah. I know. Yeah.
Can you please yeah, can you please
No.
can you please settle that urban legend? Because people think, and Rakim McLean, that's my guy, but he thinks that you took his cadence. And can you please actually put that to rest?
Absolutely, without question, I was trying to sound like Rakim, right? So, but what had happened was, what had happened was, no, I was absolutely positively, Rakim was my favorite rapper at the time. And I had just finished the album, and I was going to the airport to fly back to Philly. I'd done a couple songs with Hula and Fingers, these Chicago producers. So I was, me and Jeff had done our part of the album. Did these couple songs with Hula and Fingers. I was on my way to the airport, and we had partied all night. So I've been at the club all night. The album's done. It's great. So I'm walking out of the studio. I'm saying goodbye, and they hand me the track. They was like, hey, we just did this one more joint last night, and they handed me the track for Summertime. So I was going to the airport. My flight was delayed. It's fate like crazy. My flight was delayed. So I'm in there, and I was like, let me just mess with it. And I was like, ooh, damn, that joint is crazy. And it's the only record I've ever written from beginning to end one time through and didn't go back and change anything. I wrote it from top to bottom, just how it is. But then I went back to try to lay it, and my voice, because I had been out partying all night, I couldn't get my higher voice. And the only way that I could get my voice out is I had to be down in there. So I was like, here it is, a groove, slightly transformed. But it was strictly because my voice was blown out. And then while I was doing it, I was like, oh, I sound like the R. I sound like the R. I was like, yo.
Hey, but Snoop, let it be known, Snoop, that we left the studio. We were in the vehicle. We were leaving.
We were leaving.
They gave them the tape. It was the last song.
Yeah, but I wrote it all. Rakim didn't have anything to do with the lyrics other than the massive love and respect and the imprint that he had left on me as an artist, and the desire I had to just get anywhere near the quality of rapper that he is. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. I was definitely all the way. Yeah, man. Everything I could do to get on the level with the R.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, there was hey Snoop, there was an infamous battle right after the American Music Award.
I battled
with Will Steady B
live on the radio.
Yeah. Yes, live on the radio. Yeah. Yes. Listen to me, Snoop. Listen to me. Snoop, listen to me. It was unmerciful.
Yeah.
It was unmerciful. It was unmerciful. I mean, I gotta find out maybe my ex-girl. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying I was hard to beat at the time. I was hard to beat.
No, listen to me. It was, and Will is, naturally he goes to the comedic place, but really, to be honest, in terms of vocally coming at people, he's going to cut you. Yeah. He's trying to cut every piece of your balls out.
Yeah.
No, I'm just being honest with you.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you. Yeah. Laugh, dude. Yo.
Yeah.
That's hard to beat. That's hard to beat.
Yeah. So I just wanted to, again, we're actually, we're coming on before my brother Shaheem's show, you know what I mean, called The Walkthrough, and Snoop is a guest on it. So he just came on the Pop One and give us some love.
That.
You know what I mean?
Appreciate y'all. Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Love.
Good luck.
Love.
Yeah. Love what you're doing, man.
It's the young boy
right there.
Shot. That's the young boy Shot. That's my guy. That's my guy.
Listen. Do you remember what? Yeah, I know. You remember that Glenn Lewis track I gave you when we was in Hong Kong?
Hey.
Oh, bro.
Hey, listen. We're actually going to do a nice fuse. We're going to ask all the people in Instagram to come over to Twitch, right?
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Seamless.
I'm glad
seamless
this is
Twitch.
I'm glad this is your show, not me. Somebody gonna be mad as hell for that.
We're going to ask everybody to come over seamlessly to Twitch.
Ooh,
you know what I mean? Come over to Twitch. You know what I mean? You know, we're going to get, you know, listen.
The views expressed by Charlie Mack are not necessarily the views of Will Smith, Snoop Dogg, DJ Jazzy,
or the dog father. No. So no. Again, you know what I mean. So we were talking about where was that? My mind thought London, Swiss Cottage, recording He's DJ, I'm the Rapper.
Yeah.
Did you know that it would garner the success that it garnered, that it actually had?
No, you know, not me. Jeff was always a better judge of how stuff was going to do. For me, I like to always assume what I'm doing is going to be the best thing that the world's ever seen. So I try to delude myself. That's how I create the energy to move forward. I'm always living in a beautiful future. So if the present is ugly, I can make myself believe anything to get energy to keep moving forward. So it got to go real wrong for my mind to accept that I lost.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh.
That never happened. I don't think.
Right? Yeah. Not. You know, because I really didn't have an opinion like that. Like Jeff was doing all of that stuff. Jeff is organizing the album. Jeff is picking the tracks. I liked rapping, so I would make it, and Jeff would put it together. If Jeff said it wasn't I'd be like,
well, you do your recording. You said, peace.
I'm out, yo. You know, so
people lay his vocals to be out.
I trusted Jeff with that. If Jeff say it ain't hot, then I guess it ain't hot. You know, as we got older, I realized he's wrong a lot.
Okay, so Will, so again, the dynamic. This is TV online magic, right? Because we're dual tasking right now, right? So we're on IG, and then we actually going to throw to my brother Shaheem for his show. We're gonna go back to IG, and then Snoop and Shaheem gonna have their thing on the walkthrough. So Shaheem, do your thing with brother Big Snoop Dogg.
Are you really trying to explain the internet to me, Charlie?
No, I'm not explaining. I'm not explaining to you. I'm saying I'm just so we can focus. Because we're listen. No. I'm saying no. What I'm saying is we're simultaneously airing, and now it's actually the baton being passed on Twitch for Shaheem and his show and Snoop, and then we want to concentrate on Instagram.
I like that.
That's all.
I was so mad at Jeff when I first got. I was like, "Yo, do you hear how that sound? How come my stuff don't sound like that, Jeff?" It was like they were taking the production and the sound to this big, gigantic. The frequency range was so much wider than everything everybody else was making. It was fuller, it was louder, it was stronger, and it was like, you know, the West Coast in general kicked up the production to another level. It went somewhere else.
Dre.
Yeah. And that
Dre,
like that Doggy Style album is like I was mad. I was like, you know, I gotta be honest, I was mad. I still could get a little mad if I listen right now.
Listen. Let me tell you something. Of course, rappers always talk about being in pocket.
Yeah.
Like, there was no other comfortable place that Snoop could be in than 1, 2, 3, and 2. Let me tell you something.
Yeah,
man. Snoop,
it was like
because man, let me tell you something. At that point in time, I was in LA. I was working with Will. We played that record every day. Listen to me. Every day, all day, because it was such. Go ahead.
Yeah, it gets past.
You need that work on, Will? You need that work on? You have a problem? You need that work on?
No, it was just I thought it was a little crazy. I was like, no, because I was. No, but it was past entertainment into study. It was like, you know, nothing else sounded like that. Like they created and Snoop just had this flow, and it like I considered myself to be like I could hit the pocket, like that was a part of my thing. And it was like he just hit it better, and I was like, what the hell is going on out there?
Dr. Dre?
Yo. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. It was a beautiful thing.
Yeah, man.
Who actually inspired you? Where'd you draw your inspiration from, Snoop, in terms of your style? Because that was.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. 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 Criminal minded. You've been blinded. Like, yeah. Yeah,
man.
Yeah. Yeah, that was ridiculous.
All right, so listen, because I definitely have a time limit with my brother Will. I'm not going to abuse my time, you know what I mean? Because we're nearing, you know what I mean? I would love to, you know what I mean? But again, he said thank you. He said thank you. Said, thank you. So polite, Calvin. So polite, Calvin. And respect. You know what I mean? That was Calvin. That wasn't the Snoop. That wasn't Snoop Calvin. That was Calvin right there. Thank you. So no, I want to I definitely want to disengage here and continue with Jeff and Will and Shaheem. Do your thing on the walkthrough, man, with the big Snoop album.
Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate y'all. Yes, sir.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
Be
it,
blessed. Be blessed. So, we got to go. Yeah, we got to disconnect.
Just close
it.
Yeah. There you go. Now you got.
Willie D.
Now you got to turn that up.
Yeah. Willie D.
Oh wait, hold on. Can you go?
You in? Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
1 2 1 2.
Can you hear us?
I think so. I'm still hearing now.
1 2 1 2.
Hold on. We got some technical stuff. We're gonna figure out, Charlie. Can you hear me? Okay.
Hey.
You got me, Chuckles? I can put that down?
Yeah,
you loud. Don't call me Chuckles on here, brother.
Hey, how about that slipped out?
Cool out.
How about that slipped out?
Cool out, cut. Cool out. With the
No, that's your nick. That's no. I can call you what I call you. Yeah, I call you nothing different. That's Chuckles. So yeah, I call him Jeff. I call him Snaz every once in a while. Your Chuckles.
And the doctor. You want to talk about that? The doctor.
Oh man.
You had an affinity for the West Coast rappers too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So Will was such an a-hole at times. He did a thing where, of course, he had he brought in docking us. And whenever we would do some things, you know what I mean? Like again, if I was road managing, I guess if you will.
Yeah.
If you will. And I didn't leave the bag. Omar left the bag.
Oh no, you know what? And that's another thing I just thought about. That was another big part of why our crew worked. That everybody was about growth. Like you couldn't be down with us if you weren't growing.
Right.
Right. So you started off in the security, and then you had to expand into road managing.
Man, I was dancing. I was Freddie.
Oh, that's right. You was a dancer. Charlie was a dancer.
And I was Freddie Crew.
We just had one big ass dancer.
Well, no. How about we was in the store, right? And the kid said, "Freddie don't have a black neck."
Yeah. Yeah, we had the Nightmare on My Street record, and Charlie had to play Freddy Krueger, and he would come out on stage
and kill
with the
Jeff.
Freddy Krueger mask.
They killed Jeff.
And killed Jeff. Damn, you had a lot of jobs, Chuckles.
Hey man, listen. We did the job. Whatever
we got it done. We got it done.
Whatever got it done. You know, we got. But I got docked. You would dock me, and you throw in there. It was always some type of song that you would irritate me with, and try to like. Your whole objective was, I'm gonna crack this joker. I'm gonna crack it.
He broke.
No. Yeah.
So let me tell you where that came from. We were going at each other.
The dumb fan.
Okay, no. I'm grown, and I can admit you shouldn't call your friend's name.
like what?
That.
Let's talk about a few of them. Let's talk about a few of them.
You definitely shouldn't do it incessantly after they've asked you to stop and they've screamed
like a week long.
Yeah. You had to scream at me in the middle of Heathrow. God damn it, I got kids! I'm too grown for this shit! Leave me the fuck alone! Leave me the fuck alone! And do you remember
listen, I got kids.
The officer was walking over
right.
with a daggone M16, like, yo, I'm really, like, this dude is really about to lose it in the airport.
Do you remember what you said to me? You said, Charlie,
I don't want to, no.
Listen, you said, Charlie, calm down. I'm sorry. But you're docked.
Because you had embarrassed me in front of the airport. I had to dock you. I didn't want you to be upset. But as your employer, I had to dock you.
You calmed me down to tell me I was docked.
And it was important to dock you right there where you showed up, you know? That was terrible.
Hey, Will.
Yeah.
Getting the nomination for the first Grammy, American Music Awards, what was that feeling to be the first ones to actually win the Grammy and also boycott?
Yeah, I remember. Well, Jeff, go ahead, because I'm answering all the questions. Because you take long to come in. It's been the same thing for years. If somebody asks a question,
not on that blend though.
No, that's true.
Not on that blend.
But because he just did, like, you leave too much space between the question and the answer.
He's
Jeff.
the DJ. You're the rapper.
That's true.
There you go.
I'm gonna let Jeff answer this. Jeff, how did you feel winning the first ever Grammy that was given to a rap artist, even though you boycotted the show? Was that the question, Charlie?
That you did. Listen. By the way, Salt is on here too, so she did as well.
Salt boycotted. Who was it? Well, everybody did. Russell put together the boycott.
Yeah.
Kumo D did.
Kumo D was the only scab. Kumo D was the only scab that broke the
because
line.
Let me tell you why. Because he was prepping through the whole thing as if he was going to do it.
Yeah.
And then the day of, when you do Arsenio, you look at him like, Arsenio said, "Are you boycotting?" He says, "No." We've been out here prepping the protest.
Yeah. No. He crossed the picket line. He crossed the picket line, and that was just something I couldn't allow.
Yeah, that was hard.
But Jeff, go ahead.
That was
Let's
hard.
speak.
Listen, I mean, it sucked because, you know, you waited all your life. You know, the year before that, we were home watching the Grammys on television, and fast forward to us being nominated, and you want to tell us that our category isn't important enough to show on television. You know, you don't tell everybody to go watch you on TV and then have to retract and say, well, they showed the category at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You know, and hip hop was pretty much the biggest music in the world at that time. You want to show 12 country and Western categories, but no hip hop. And I know I didn't think about what we were doing. I knew we were standing up for what we believed in.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that the impact that it would have, that it was just kind of like, yo, you know, hip hop was too young at that point in time for us to let anybody take a shot at it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, there were radio DJs that were saying hip hop is dead, you know, and when you're looking at it like this is what we do, you fight for what you do. So
well, to add on to that, of course, you always find the comedy in something, right? Yeah. And so Chuck, you know, famously said, quote, you know, who gives a F about a goddamn Grammy? Excuse me, Chuck.
Yeah,
Chuck.
that was.
But let me
that was the Public Enemy line.
Right.
That was the Public Enemy line. Yeah, right. And during the protest, that was fun. Chuck D has a brilliant sense of humor. Like it's not in his music, but Chuck D has a brilliant sense of humor. He had that line, "Who got a goddamn Grammy?" And I was like,
"Excuse me, Chuck. Excuse me, Chuck." So,
excuse me, Mr. D. I mean, I'd like to have one. I don't need it.
I kind of do. But because we are boycotting, so now, again, so y'all were groundbreaking. You know what I mean? Y'all were groundbreaking, taking that stand, you know, and boycotting. And you made it possible for artists like Drake, of course, Cardi B, and of course your son Jaden to actually be able to be televised in the Grammys portion of the show. Now. You know what I mean? When you reflect about that, for both of y'all, how do y'all feel about that today? Just thinking about that.
Well,
see, that's the long space. Jeff keep leaving the long space.
Listen, I'm gathering my thoughts.
Ooh.
Thank you. Well, there was a period in time that I was really happy that we kind of opened that door. And then a couple of years ago, you started looking at the Grammys and it kind of looked like the year that we boycotted. And I think people kind of spoke up and said something about it, and then it changed. So I kind of think, you know, every so often you kind of have to keep reminding these institutions the importance of hip hop.
Yeah, the thing with me, and you know, I'll start talking about it more publicly. I just think it's dangerous to try to encourage artists or kids to want to win something. It's like, you know, forget that Grammy, forget that Oscar. I don't need none of that stuff to justify and validate who and what I am, you know. So it's an interesting space that I've been kind of mulling around over the last couple of years. It's like, it is the kiss of death to need validation from anybody else for who you are and what you do.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, and it's like when you're leaning in and you need somebody else to say you're good. That goes in relationships and friendships, and you know, with all of these institutions that you know we're talking about. So it's a shifting point of view that I'm having, and you know, I would have a real problem encouraging somebody to petition for validation.
Wow. Yeah, right. To get that power, away.
Yeah, giving that power away. It's like I know who I am. I know what I do, and you know, going forward in my career, it'll be interesting. I got to figure out how I'm going to manage, you know, with those kinds of things. I haven't been to a lot of award shows and stuff like that in the past 3 or 5 years because just spiritually it's starting to bump me a little bit.
Wow. Okay. So, in terms of, you both have children that actually do music now.
And if you add all of ours up, we'll have 2 less than you. I was just. Okay, we weren't talking about. Okay, all right. Go ahead. Sorry, Charlie. It's your show.
So y'all both have children.
Yes. Yes.
The infamous record that y'all made was "Parents Just Don't Understand."
Yes.
Do y'all understand?
Yes.
A question for both of y'all.
Kids don't understand.
Yes.
Like they don't understand. All right. I understand thoroughly. I'm very clear. It's the kids that don't understand the depth and breadth of the wisdom that I have that they should just bow down to. That's all I have to say about that.
Hysterical. Jeff?
Well, I don't quite feel that way. I mean, they don't understand, but you know, it's not time for them to understand. I think the older that you get, you kind of understand that.
You're getting deep, Jeff.
We try to force things.
Is it the mayonnaise level? We got to talk
about he kept it right at the mayonnaise.
Yeah, I did. I was right there.
Well, explain the mayonnaise level well to brothers and sisters.
Yeah, the mayonnaise level is Jeff isn't really good with big words. I mean, I was trying to think of how do I say that? Jeff is not.
Okay, go ahead.
You know, Jeff, like
you are Jeff. You are.
Jeff is not good with big words. He prefers a good old-fashioned pedestrian conversation.
Shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line.
There you go.
Big words are curves.
So he would always say with the mayonnaise level, he didn't want any words longer in numerically or conceptually bigger than mayonnaise.
The mayonnaise.
Hey.
And he refused to talk to you if you broke the mayonnaise level.
So perpetuity people would be one of them.
Yes, perpetuity was rough for Jeff.
Mayonnaise.
Perpetuity was hard for Jeff. When Jeff heard
Brian Gumble. So
Brian Gumble asked him,
let's give it the context so they understand how it came about.
Yeah, Brian Gumble one time, that was live too. That was live on television.
Listen, I check him live.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't check him. What you did was you did like that.
Listen, I didn't have to say anything.
Right, because you're the DJ.
I had to look at him.
You're the DJ. So talk about that, Will. Give him some context.
He asked him was rap something that he was considering doing in perpetuity. And Jeff just had a hard time with that one.
Listen,
Jeff, listen, we were on television.
This is all I want to say.
You went deer in the headlights. You just was like,
with perpetuity in it.
This is true.
I'm like, come on, man, don't disrespect the culture. How many rap records you heard with perpetuity in it?
There's not many rap records with perpetuity in it.
Well, that's all I'm saying. You know, take that shit over to class or something.
That's true. That's true. Ask that shit to Elton John. Ask that shit to Elton John.
Hey, man.
I'll ask that to you.
Hey, man.
I agree.
Hey, Will.
Yo.
Fresh Will.
Yo.
I want to be respectful of the time because I don't want to abuse it.
Too late.
I'm about.
If you wanted to be respectful of my time, Charlie, if you had any consideration for anybody other than yourself, if you would have considered my time 35 minutes ago. 35 minutes ago, you would have considered my time. I texted you. Do you want me to show the text? Let me show the text where I said, Charlie, you got me for 90 minutes. Where, all right. I don't have it. You lucky I don't have it right. I said, Charlie, you got me for 90 minutes. How long have you had me, Charlie? I want to hear you say it. How long have you had me right now, Charlie?
A little under 2 hours.
2 hours, yes. You're docked. You're docked. You just got docked. The doctor.
Oh my God.
Hey, listen, man. To be honest, listen to me, man. It's been more than what I could have expected. It's been a blessed evening. We literally, to be honest, we could talk like literally forever. He said, no, we can't do that.
We can't do that. We can't. We're done talking now.
Oh,
Sorry. Sorry, Charlie.
So I'm
It
not.
always feels weird when I have to say that to you. Sorry, Charlie. Like you should like.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yes. I'll be here all week, folks. Don't forget to tip your Charlie.
Hey, man. So again, don't forget to tip your Charlie. So I'm not gonna keep you long. I'm probably another 6 minutes. You know what I mean? Because I want to be respectful. You may not want to do this with me again. You like Charlie kept me on it, and I know people don't know. People don't know how anal you are about time. You're anal.
No. Time is really important.
Yeah.
Time is critical because time is all people have in their life. Your time and your attention are your highest human commodities.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And
so I'm gonna cut you off.
Both of mine right now.
Peace. We out.
No. Nah, you my dude. You know you my dude. I would stay on. I'll stay on here with you for another 30 or 40 seconds. Easy.
No, man, listen.
Right.
Listen. Hey, listen, man. I'm gonna tell you what's amazing. I haven't even got through the first 8 questions.
Well, cause you've been lollygagging, Charlie.
That,
This has been the problem with you for years. Okay, you get off track. That's the next thing we're gonna work on.
get on track.
Keeping you on track, Charlie.
No, listen. How about the time when I got docked for the time? You said when I got docked. You remember that story when you docked me? About the
docked
time?
You for the time?
We were supposed to have been up. I was the road manager and bodyguard all in a matter of.
Wait.
Didn't
we go to a radio station and left Charlie?
Yes.
Because he overslept?
He overslept, yeah. Security was asleep, and we had to wake up and get in a cab and get ourselves.
No, it was my first day of road manager.
Road manager / security.
Yeah, right.
Sleep while we. And didn't you wake up and you heard us on the radio station?
I did, man. It was a nightmare. And listen, let me tell you something. I didn't want to open my eyes up. I'm telling you, I did not want to.
You was hoping you was dreaming.
Listen to me, man. But once I heard that laugh, you laugh.
Yeah.
You said my security / road manager guy, he's the quickest hire and fire ever. And that's what.
Wait, that was your first official day as the road manager.
Official day.
Dang.
I stayed up all night to make sure that I didn't miss the call time. Why you letting them laugh at me? Will, we don't do that.
You know, Charlie, I used to think of you as a magnificent soldier of struggle that would overcome any adversity. But you're not. You're the luckiest motherfucker that I've ever met in my life. You're lucky. You just got really.
I'm
glad we had this conversation.
That Jeff came down to Southwest Council that night.
Yeah, I'm glad we had this conversation because I just remembered all the times that you should have been fired. Like you should have been fired a lot. And Jeff just loved you. He just loved you. And I fell in love with you. But I blame myself. I blame me. I'm blaming me right now. That's amazing. His first official day, he overslept and didn't. I had forgotten about that, Chuck.
Hey, man.
Hey, I appreciate you. I'm out of here. I'm going with my wife and my kids. And MC Light is here. So,
MC Lana?
MC Lana.
Hold on. I got one surprise for you. Hold on. Where? Hello? Look, I thought he was doing. But you know, look, he's doing this. Come on.
I'm sorry, I dozed off. What happened?
Come on. I got a surprise for you.
What you got? Who you got? Ah! What's up?
Hi.
Hey, baby.
Hi, Uncle Will.
What's up?
So
Man,
listen.
everybody's just growing.
But listen. She came up with a T-shirt. She came up with a T-shirt. I want you to see this. Tell them what it says.
Let me see. I can't read it. I can't.
Move up.
It says, you can take off your uniform, but I can't take off the color of my skin.
I love that. That was your quote. That's right. Charlie sent me that. I love that.
Thank you.
Out there in the struggle. I love what you're doing. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just wanted to
let me know what you need. I deeply and desperately want to support you in all the things that you want to do. So just let me know what you need.
Thank you. I haven't seen you in so long. I miss you.
I know. We got to hang. See, now you got to fly out to LA. You don't even need daddy no more.
Exactly. I've been going on my own flight since I was like 5.
There you go. Absolutely. I love that.
So with that being said, man, listen, Jeff, I love you. Bro, I love you, man.
And appreciate y'all.
I love you.
Love you, baby.
Be blessed.
All right, be good.
Oh, and we're clear.
Oh man.
Hold up, don't
I had to go to the bathroom.
They don't say nothing crazy. Don't say nothing crazy.
I gotta save it.
Good job, Charlie.
Wait a minute, I gotta save it.
That was cute. You put this on. Get ready. How you doing? with the song that you put up.
Wait a minute, I gotta see. Hold on. In terms of saving it.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So I end this and then, because I'm blanking.
Yeah, if you hit end now, it will ask you to save it.